So hello guys, this will be a short presentation to sort of point out the things that most people seem to have missed for the Fortuna reveal at Tennocon. So to start off, we are gonna look at sort of the description for the kit gun and MOA parts. So here we have the chill finger first up. So the description is this: reach out and blast someone, precision with every pull of the trigger. So what I'm getting at is, further on along the stream, they showed it has innate blast damage. So what I'm guessing is that the chamber part is the bit that determines sort of the type of secondary that you will be building, and also their damage and their characteristics in general. With that being said, they showed the chill finger and the rattle guts. The rattle guts, its description is ladder rip, rapid fire. So I'm guessing it's sort of like the Azuma, and they also, when they built the kit gun with the rattle guts, it had IPS damage. I think it was puncture and slash, but I'm not sure. So, and the rest, given their appearance, like the Catch Moon chamber and the Gaze chamber, the Catch Moon looks a lot like the U-Core, sort of. That's what I'm imagining it to be. However, they didn't show this, so this is just speculation. And likewise, the Gaze, given the name, it's probably a sniper pistol kind of thing, because Gaze, you know, you gaze through a scope and whatnot, so whatever. And then we move on to the grip. So the grip basically determines the balance between damage and fire rate. It also sort of deals with the range of beam weapons. So the Haymaker grip in this case is basically like Alex Prime, where it's slow but it has a lot of damage. And they then show the Love Tap grip, which seems to be the same, but maybe not as exaggerated of an effect, sort of. And then they also showed the other parts, which determine the balance between status and crit. I think it was called the loader, but I'm not too sure right now. Okay, so onto the MOAs. The MOAs, we only saw two of the variants, and there were three. There are the Oloro MOA, Lambeo MOA, and Paramoa. The Oloro MOA is described as being a more utility-oriented kind of companion, whose abilities are Tractor Beam and Hacker. So I'm guessing Hacker hacks alarms, sort of like Lissette's air support charge, or it could be like the Intruder mod, where it extends the duration of hacking. And the Lambido MOA is described as being an offensive-oriented MOA, with the abilities Tether Mine and Lift Bomb. I'm guessing Tether Mine is like tether grenades on the Penta, or something along those lines, and Lift Bomb, I have absolutely no clue, but it's sort of giving me a vibe of Vauban's bounce grenade. And then there's the Paramoa. So the obvious guess here would be that it's a defensive MOA. However, given the name Para, you know, sort of parachute and stuff like that, I am sort of getting a more, how should you say, a mobility-oriented MOA. That being said, there's also the possibility of it being like a fusion MOA, where it summons the drones to aid you, but, you know, we have no information on this so far, so I guess that's all we have to go on. Now, the gear slot for the MOA has a lot of neat items here. For example, the Harpen, which was described as a grappling hook, Cryo, which I am assuming is something like the Arthax for Taxon, with sort of, you know, a cold effect, hence the name. Munit is sort of like munition, so I'm guessing maybe like ammo case, or it just extends your ammo pools by a lot. Phaser was shown, which is the bow tie, and was described as being a high stun chance electric beam, so sort of like arc coil from Driga, I'm assuming. Thermo was also shown. It was described as being burst beam with high heat damage, hence the name. And there were also Argon and Hextra, which they did not really show, but I would guess Argon, if considering Argon's scope, might be a crit buff. You know, Argon is in the game is radioactive also, so one might assume it's like a new core or Arcoplasmor kind of thing. And Hextra. I couldn't really come to any conclusions regarding Hextra. However, there's a sort of trend in how these look, you know, where you can maybe sort of match them depending on their looks. And for example, Cryo and Thermo both have this sort of brown casing, so one could assume that Hextra may be Toxin. And if you match Argon with Phaser, which have also the bow tie look, one could assume that it is actually sort of a radiation pulse, that, you know, it's a CC oriented. And Harpen and Munit also look very similar, so one could maybe postulate that Munit may be something like grappling hook as well, but maybe it pushes things away rather than pulling them. I don't know. They didn't really show these, so it's just speculation, like I've said. And then there are the cores for the MOAs. The cores are sort of, they determine the survivability, sort of the MOA. For example, when they showed the Alchrome core, it was sort of described as being balanced. When compared to the Crisis core, it was described as being a core with more durable armor but weaker shields. So there's that sort of trade-off. That being said, I am guessing that given how important armor is, Crisis might be the best option to take for these. However, I don't know how these will be moddable and stuff like that, so take that with a grain of salt, alright? Next, we can look at the bounty rewards. So, the bounty rewards are actually quite interesting, and we didn't get a lot of time to look at them. So, starting from the top, we have the Kreska blueprint. The Kreska, to me, looks a lot like a Zor Strike that we could maybe take back to Cetus rather than to Solaris and fix it on a Zor. And it looks sort of like a scythe, like the Scythe Heavy Blade one that we already have, which is really nice actually, and it's good to sort of see the other open world maps tie in together, you know? Then we have the Ocu core and the Beta core, and these are very weird. They seem like guns, possibly a rifle and a pistol, but given the name, one of them is named Batacore, so I'm assuming that it's a sort of sentient, like the Batalist. However, that being said, the core part is clearly Corpus inspired, given we have weapons like the Opticore, Sonicore, Staticore, and you know, all that. However, I don't think that these were mentioned on any other panel, but I'm still yet to check those out when they upload the footage because I missed them. Now, next we have the Tessin, Strain, and Mecha set mods. Now, I don't know what these actually do. That being said, the icon they have on the top might give us an indication, because the mecha and the tech both have a sort of pet on them. The tech looking more like Kavat and the mecha looking more like a Kubro. So I think it's a good guess to sort of link them to Kavats and Kubros. And then there's the Synth set, and to me the icon on the top sort of looks like Death Cube, so there could be potential that the Synth set mod could be for Sentinels. Now the Strain was weird. I couldn't really make out what the top icon was. However, given the names Strain Consume, and then we also see a Strain Infection mod, there could be potential that this is a Helmin mod, and the possibility that we might be getting more Helmin type pets in the future. I mean, who knows? But alternatively, I'm guessing it's a Warframe or Arcwing kind of thing, because you know, we all saw the Railjack footage and showcase, so there's a lot of Arcwing involved. Okay, so next we have the Oxylus Sentinel, and this was actually quite surprising when I saw a Sentinel over there. That's a weird Sentinel. There's not much information, but it sort of has a leg down, maybe it grabs stuff, and sort of has two lasers on its ears. Kinda looks like Shrek, I don't know. The only information we have about it is its name and its icon, so not much we can say about it. What we can say about it is that it's a rare drop, and I hope these drop chances are, how should you say, good. And yes, so further on, we see another bounty here, And there are different set mods here. Like I said, Strain Infection was the reason why I think it's a helmet set. And another one that's very interesting here is Tech Gravity. Gravity is an attractive force, so I am postulating that this might be a vacuum mod for pets. I mean, it's possible. However, DE have been they shied away from giving pets vacuum for whatever reason. So, let's not put our hopes up. Okay, so another interesting point here is that the Bondi K drive, or the hoverboard, the description when Rebecca opens her gear wheel, it says, summons a Bondi K drive for use during free roam missions. Free roam missions are these type of missions where they are open world. That being said, I am guessing that we should be able to use the hoverboards on PoE as well, given that description, because PoE is also technically a free roam mission, so we'll just have to wait and see about that, I guess. And here is another interesting screen capture I managed to get, where just after she caught the animal, behind Rebecca there was a mining node, so we're not gonna be free of mining this time. Now, I personally don't really like mining. If you do like mining, then congratulations, I guess. But for those like me, it might be a little bit too, same old. So yeah, make of that what you will. Alright, so I think that's it for this showcase, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.